Hi, this is historian Justin Vipperman and my son David. Say hello, David.
Hello.
We are up above Ketchum this weekend camping up here, but I wanted to do something about the Buffalo Soldiers since Buffalo Soldier Day is July 28th. This is not Wallace, Idaho. However, I want to talk about the Big Burn, which happened up in northern Idaho, Montana, Washington in 1910. That is really one of the few instances that we have of the history of the Buffalo Soldiers being out here or being in Idaho. The Buffalo Soldiers take their name from the Cheyenne in 1867 fighting the Indian Wars. The Cheyenne call them the Buffalo Soldiers because of their fierce fighting techniques and their curly hair, which resembled buffalo hair. They are a infantry, the 25th Infantry of the Cavalry. 7 regiments were sent to Idaho to fight the Big Burn in 1910. Now, in 1908, we had a huge drought in Idaho. It was really dry in the summer and in the winter. Again in 1909, super dry in the summer and in the winter. And in 1910, it was really, really dry. And a thunderstorm came through, some lightning sparked a fire, and it started the Big Burn in 1910. The fire was so large across these 3 states that smoke could be seen as far back as Chicago. Some people say they could see the smoke in New York. I'm not certain that that is accurate or not, but there are accounts that the smoke was rolling into New York. They tried to fight fire with firefighters going up to Wallace or in northern Idaho and in Montana, Washington. But in Idaho specifically, the mountains were too big. It was too rough and too rocky to get into. They actually took prisoners out of the Idaho State Penitentiary to send up there, and that didn't go well either. And so that's why the 7 regiments of the Buffalo Soldiers were sent to northern Idaho to fight fires. When they got there, they got to the town of Avery, which is south of Wallace, and they stayed in some hotels there. The white town was really not happy with them being there and discriminated against them. They really chose to look at some racial stereotypes. They called them lazy. They said they drank too much. They played cards all the time and didn't associate with anyone. However, as the fire crept closer to Avery, they jumped into action with a few of the white males in town and evacuated the town of Avery. They then hopped on a train heading east out of Avery, but as they crossed over a couple of trestle bridges that were already on fire, it was so hot that paint was coming off of the train itself. And so they headed back into Avery, trying to figure out what they should do and how they should help the town. They decided that the best way was to build a backfire. A backfire is where they started a fire on the backside heading into the fire. It would have burned all the fuel so that when the 2 fires met, there wasn't anything for them to do. They hoped that that would work. Luckily for them, it did. The fire took off, burned all the fuel. When it caught up to the Big Burn or the big fire that was happening just outside of Avery, the fire died. People moved back into Avery. Several accounts talk about changing perspectives of African Americans due to their hard work in Avery and fighting those fires. That's really it for the Buffalo Soldiers. There are a couple of other instances in Idaho, but for the most part, that's what we know them for. If you're interested in learning more, there are a few books out there, but one of the big ones that I would suggest that's new out about the Big Burn, at least, is Timothy Egan's book, The Big Burn. There's also an exhibit at the Idaho State Historical Society and Museum. There are a few other books out there about the Buffalo Soldiers that I would suggest looking into. And the biggest thing, or the easiest thing for you to do, is to watch the PBS documentary on the Big Burn. And that'll tell you about the Buffalo Soldiers there as well. There's also a documentary about the Buffalo Soldiers, which does a great job of detailing where they come from. Some of them, one of my favorite stories is them riding bikes instead of horses in national parks, which I find fascinating. Anyway, but this is it for Idaho and the Buffalo Soldiers. If you're interested in any more history, let me know. Or if you have something that you're interested in, put it down in the comments. If you like this video, hit the like button. And if you want more of my videos, subscribe, and then you'll get a notification when I upload new videos. I hope that that this finds you well. Email me, send me a letter, stop by my house. David wouldn't mind seeing you sometime either. Have a good afternoon. See ya.